In this video, we're going to be reading out MP Ladywood candidate responses to Ladywood Unite's 6 asks about the Ladywood Regeneration. All candidates' responses were read out at our community event held yesterday on the 22nd of June in the Ladywood Methodist Church. Although we read out all candidate statements at the event, the recording got cut off for the first part of the event, so I'm going to reread the MP candidate response, Lee Darg from the Liberal Democrats to Ladywood Unite's 6 asks. Good afternoon. Thank you for your email and thank you for raising this with all candidates. I absolutely commit to all 6 items and have left additional feedback for you below. I know firsthand of your exemplary work in representing the people of Ladywood. Thank you on behalf of Ladywood, especially from those people you'll never know you've helped. Kind regards, Lee Darg. There are serious issues of justice for the approximately 6,000 people inside the Ladywood Regeneration Zone that we ask our MP candidates to commit to addressing by taking the following actions. Number 1, meet with representatives of Ladywood Unite, both before and after the election, to form the basis of future engagement. Absolutely. Regardless of the result of the election, I will continue to support Ladywood Unite. Number 2, work to stop compulsory purchase and demolition of freehold houses, good quality and new homes, including leasehold houses and churches. This is a key priority, and with the continued flippant and seemingly uncaring responses from the Council's regeneration team, is even more a focus for Ladywood Unite, the community, and local politicians to be given as much detail as possible, with a significant ramp up in genuine consultation. Number 3, work to prevent the displacement of a diverse and vibrant community, aiming to preserve community and family networks across generations. Ladywood Unite represent the best of the Ladywood community spirit, strong yet open, fearless yet welcoming and inclusive. To have a luxury developer and a careless council think they can bulldoze, both literally and figuratively, their way through Ladywood shows that they never knew what they'd come up against. The deadlines we see keep moving on and on. This shows to me that they are struggling to cope with what they thought would be an easy pushover. Number 4, work to redress power imbalances, favoring a luxury developer and the council over residents, advocating for residents to be able to make decisions about their future. It would be good for politicians to stand up to the council and the developer. We know it doesn't mean we have to go in screaming and shouting, but even daring to ask questions seems to be impossible for this currently Labor-run council and the cost relationship with the previous Labor MP. The core way for that to happen is for genuine consultation, which can only really start from a blank piece of paper with everyone represented to work together on the master plan, or whatever it's called this week. Number 5, work to provide clarity and commitment on plans for social and affordable housing, aiming to update current plans offering no social housing at all, and supporting accelerating repairs for properties that need them now. It's completely unacceptable to have 0 social homes as the accepted level. We know that affordable homes are only affordable to a select few, and that often doesn't include many who already live in the area. Social homes are not only affordable for residents, the new build materials and processes mean easier maintenance for the council, lower running costs for the inhabitants, and few emissions during build and life of buildings to help us protect the environment. Number 6, raise the matters affecting us in the House of Commons, especially the need to close viability loopholes in planning and strengthening diverse community input early on and throughout regeneration planning. Regardless of the result, I will work on this with my Lib Dem colleagues in both the Commons and the Lords. We have a significant number in the Lords already. I'm expecting a big increase in Lib Dem MPs at the election too, meaning we'd have much more influence to create and modify legislation. The next statement is from MP candidate Shazna Muzamil with the Conservatives. Dear members of the Ladywood Unite Executive Committee, thank you for your crucial role in advocating for the residents of Ladywood. I deeply appreciate the time you dedicated to our meeting, as well as the insights shared by the lady in the church. It's evident that the uncertainty you all face is unjust. The community is grappling with significant challenges due to the proposed regeneration plans. I am grateful for the opportunity to outline how I plan to support and represent the interests of Ladywood if elected. Meet with representatives of Ladywood Unite both before and after the election to form the basis of future engagement. I am dedicated to establishing an ongoing dialogue with Ladywood Unite, scheduling regular consultations to ensure that all community voices are not only heard, but are central to shaping our collaborative response. I believe that representatives from within the residents should have a seat at the table in ongoing discussions surrounding the regeneration plans, and I will advocate strongly for this inclusion.
Work to stop compulsory purchase and demolition of freehold houses, good quality and new homes, including leasehold houses and churches. I'm acutely aware of the deep concerns regarding the potential loss of homes and community spaces. As your MP, I will not stand idly by while our communities are polluted. I will staunchly oppose any compulsory purchase and demolition that does not have clear demonstrable benefits for the residents, or that fails to provide adequate and just compensations and alternatives. I will advocate for a complete reassessment of these plans, aiming for a community-led approach. Furthermore, I will push for alternatives that consider preserving and enhancing communal structures like the church rather than demolishing it. Work to prevent the displacement of a diverse and vibrant community, aiming to preserve community and family networks across generations, for which Shazna said, from my observations and the residents I've had the privilege to meet, it's clear that the heart of Ladywood lies in its community, its people and its diversity. I'm committed to preserving this by ensuring that any development respects and enhances these ties, preventing displacement and safeguarding the unique social fabric of our area. Your community and family networks are the backbone of Ladywood, and I'm dedicated to their preservation. Work to redress power imbalances favouring a luxury developer and the council over residents, advocating for residents to be able to make decisions about their future. I pledge to challenge any unfair practices by developers or the council. It is crucial that developers engaging with Ladywood are reputable and have a history of responsible community engagement. I will push for transparency, accountability, and significant resident involvement in every step of the regeneration process. Work to provide clarity and commitment on plans for social and affordable housing, aiming to update current plans offering no social housing at all, and supporting accelerating repairs for properties that need them now. For which Shazna said, I will work tirelessly to ensure that the redevelopment plans include a substantial proportion of social and affordable housing. It is unacceptable for current plans to disregard the needs of those who require these accommodations most. I will push for immediate action on repairing existing properties that residents depend on and holding the council accountable for not meeting decent home standards. Raise the matters affecting us in the House of Commons, especially the need to close viability loopholes in planning and strengthening diverse community early on in and throughout regeneration planning. Using my position, should I be elected, I will advocate for legislative changes that close planning loopholes and enhance community participation, ensuring that Ladywood's voice is heard loud and clear in the Parliament. I have also read your long list of questions submitted by residents, and I would like to reiterate that if elected, I will bring this to the table and restart this process with resident-led plans being drawn up with the Council. The involvement of residents in these conversations is paramount, and I support forming a steering group that includes residents and skilled individuals who can contribute positively to the regeneration process. While it may seem like electoral timing has spurred interest in Ladywood's regeneration, the truth is that meaningful involvement can only begin with election to office. It is concerning that your current MP has not engaged as expected. This election presents an opportunity for change, and I am here openly committing to that change. Please consider my candidacy as one dedicated to real change, genuine engagement, and the well-being of every Ladywood resident. Thank you once again for this vital dialogue, and I'm here if you need.
Thank you. So we are now reading out the statement from the next MP candidate who responded to us. This is Zoe Chandler's statement from the Green Party. Zoe said, "Thank you for being in touch about the hugely important issue of the Ladywood Regeneration Scheme. I wholeheartedly agree with all of Ladywood Unite's 6 points, and I have added comments below. Number 1, I would be delighted to meet with representatives of Ladywood Unite. Having spoken to families who stand to be affected by the scheme, I am appalled by the lack of meaningful consultation with the community on such an important issue. I have spoken with people who have lived in their homes for 30 years, are deeply rooted and woven into the neighborhood around them, and who stand to lose not only a house, but a community. I am so grateful for and impressed by the energy with which Ladywood Unite has been campaigning on behalf of residents, creating organization and strength in numbers, and would love to know more and understand how I can best support you. I fully support working to stop the compulsory purchase and demolition of freehold houses, good quality and new homes, including leasehold houses and churches. I grew up in Ladywood and love and respect our vibrant and diverse community. It is unconscionable to me that the Council and Berkeley Group consider it a good idea to bulldoze a whole community without meaningful community engagement and consultation. I am aware of Council documents from last year stating that initiating the compulsory purchase process will make the seriousness of the authority's intentions clear from the outset, which in turn might encourage those whose land is affected to enter more readily into meaningful negotiations, making clear that the Council intends to use the threat of compulsory purchase as a tool to gain the compliance of Ladywood residents. And of course, there are many Council tenants who don't have any protection at all. Yes, we absolutely must work to prevent the displacement of a diverse and vibrant community, aiming to preserve community and family networks across generations. We are seeing people being treated as though they were chess pieces to be moved around at the will of developers. Headlines like "Berkeley set to bag $2.2 billion Birmingham estate overhaul" speak volumes, as do the lip service consultation processes we have seen, and the exclusion of many residents from public meetings so that they have literally been left out in the cold with their voices unheard. All of this points towards a profit over people mentality and a lack of meaningful community engagement. Birmingham City Council claims that the development will address both social and environmental issues and deliver significant economic benefits for the community and wider Birmingham economy. Significant benefits, for the local community and wider Birmingham economy. I think if they intend people to believe these words, there needs to be a full and meaningful process of consulting with the local community and hearing what residents themselves think would benefit them. I fully support working to redress power imbalances favoring a luxury developer and the Council over residents, advocating for residents to be able to make decisions about their future. As far back as the 1960s, Joe Hollyoak wrote of Ladywood that residents had no representation but had planning done to them. The result was a community which was swept away, together with its familiar streets and landmarks. Norman Power also wrote of the destruction of a resilient and rooted community as the old Victorian neighborhood was bulldozed and replaced with high-rise towers. We must learn the lessons from the past and not sit by and watch history repeat itself. We must insist that large bodies like Birmingham City Council and Berkeley Group approach this community with decency, humanity, and respect, that they see people, not pound signs. The Green Party is vocal and eloquent on the need to use more than crude economic arguments when making decisions that affect the lives of people, as you will see from this interview with Adrienne Ramsay, Deputy Leader. And there's a link in her statement online. I agree that we must work to provide clarity and commitment on plans for social and affordable housing, aiming to update current plans offering no social housing at all, and supporting accelerating repairs for properties that need them now. Current plans show no commitment to social housing and only a 16% commitment to affordable housing. Affordable to who is a question we must ask. If the development claims to seek to improve quality of life in Ladywood, we must keep asking whose quality of life it seeks to improve. Will current residents still be able to afford to live there? Have they been meaningfully consulted? What improvements would current residents like to see? And what guarantees are there that they will not be priced out of the area? The current plan claims it will improve people's lives, but actions have demonstrated otherwise. Letters threatening compulsory purchase, poor communication, badly organized consultation, being invited to meetings that denied access has all caused stress and distress, and does not speak well of the current organization and planning. I absolutely support raising the matters affecting us in the House of Commons, especially the need to close viability loopholes in planning and strengthening diverse community input early on in and throughout regeneration planning. I will continue to support these aims and use my voice on behalf of the people of Ladywood to challenge leaders on issues like this one, regardless of the results of this election. Moving on to the response from MP candidate Ahmed Yacoub, who's running as an independent. Dear respected members of Ladywood Unite, I commend you for your essential role in advocacy towards the residents of Ladywood, I deeply appreciate the time you dedicate to our meeting and the valuable insights shared by Ladywood Unite members during consultation. The uncertainty you face is profoundly unjust. The Ladywood residents are most certainly grappling with significant challenges due to the proposed regeneration plans formulated by the current Labour-run council. I am grateful for the opportunity to outline how I plan to support and represent the interests of residents when elected. I commit to meeting with representatives of Ladywood Unite both before and after the election to establish the foundation for future engagement. I am dedicated to maintaining an ongoing dialogue with Ladywood Unite, scheduling regular consultations as I currently am and have been doing to ensure all community voices are heard and central to shaping our collaborative response. I believe that local community stakeholders should be included in ongoing discussions about the regeneration plans, and I will advocate strongly for this inclusion. I also pledge to continue representing their views over my vast social media following, which is in the surplus of 325,000 followers across various digital platforms. I will act immediately to encourage the Labour-run council to produce a master plan with residents before any developer agreement is signed. This will help ensure that the community's needs and perspectives are integral from the start, which is the minimum that they deserve. Additionally, I will support the council in forming a diverse residents forum that has the power to influence decisions, ensuring that all demographics are represented. I will also invite community stakeholders to be on my board of decision-making once elected, unlike the current Labour representative who has consistently neglected the needs of residents for more than 3 years now. I will continue advocating to stop the compulsory purchase order and any demolition of freehold houses, including leasehold houses and churches. I understand the deep concerns regarding the potential loss of homes and community spaces. As your MP, I refuse to stand idle whilst a majority of our community is displaced against their willingness. I will oppose any compulsory purchase orders and demolition that lacks clear, demonstrative benefits for all residents, or that fails to provide adequate and just compensation or other alternatives in the House of Commons. I will advocate for a complete reassessment of these plans, aiming for a community and locally led approach. Additionally, I will push for alternatives that preserve and enhance communal structures like the Ladywood Church, rather than demolishing them like our current Labour representatives. It must not be forgotten that small businesses are also at the brunt of the regeneration scheme. Not only will residents be displaced from their homes, but small businesses will also cease to exist if the regeneration scheme proceeds as planned. This will put people's livelihoods at risk, and unemployment will certainly increase as a result. This has also been highlighted in my manifesto. I am committed to preserving the displacement of a diverse and vibrant community, aiming to preserve community and family networks across generations. From my observations and concerns of the residents I have met, it is clear that the heart of Ladywood lies in its community, its people, and its diversity, but not within its elected representatives. I am dedicated to preserving the values of the electorate rather than the council by ensuring any development respects and enhances these ties, preventing displacement and safeguarding the unique social dimensions of our area. This includes ensuring any movers are rehoused in a single move within their respective area if they wish, and obtaining a similar, if not identical, offer for residents who must move so that no one is left worse off in any way. I will work to redress power imbalances favoring a luxury developer and the council over residents, while consistently advocating for residents to make decisions about their future. I pledge to challenge any unfair practices by developers or the council. It is crucial that developers engaging with Ladywood are reputable and have a history of responsible community engagement. I will continue pushing for transparency, accountability, and significant resident involvement in every step of the regeneration process. I will provide clarity and commitment on plans for social and affordable housing, aiming to update current plans offering no social housing, and supporting accelerated repairs for properties that need them now. I will work tirelessly to ensure the redevelopment plans include a substantial portion of social and affordable housing. It is unacceptable for current plans to disregard the needs of those who require those accommodations most. I will push for immediate action on repairing existing properties that residents depend on and hold the council accountable for not meeting decent home standards. Moreover, I will insist that meaningful community consultation and engagement, community facilities, social and affordable housing, and environmental concerns are addressed throughout the project. In the House of Commons, I will raise the matters affecting us. When elected, I will advocate for legislative changes that close planning loopholes and enhance community participation, ensuring Ladywood's voice is heard loud and clear in Parliament. I will also work to pass legislation that protects other communities from what we are experiencing, addressing issues like diversity, engagement, and consultation, and sustainability loopholes in planning. I have also read the list of questions submitted by residents, and I want to reiterate that if elected, I will bring this to the table and renew the process with resident-led plans being drawn up with the council. The involvement of residents in these conversations is paramount, and I support forming a steering group that includes residents and skilled individuals who can contribute positively to the regeneration process. It must also be added that based off the views of residents and small business owners within the Ladywood Regeneration area, I attended a very successful protest in Ladywood just outside the Methodist Church, which gained international media coverage. Whilst it may seem like electoral timing has spurred interest in Ladywood's regeneration, the truth is that meaningful involvement can only begin once the election to office has been granted. It is concerning that the current MP has not engaged as expected. It is actually quite sickening to hear that the representative who was voted in by the people has since forgotten about those same people whilst being in office and neglecting their views. This election presents an opportunity for change, and I am openly committing to that change. Additionally, I will work to ensure that residents' voices are prioritized in any decision-making process, preventing outside interests from overshadowing the needs of the community. I am dedicated to protecting Ladywood's heritage, culture, and future by fostering an environment where every resident feels valued and empowered to shape their own destiny. This includes updating the wording in the report to Cabinet that says an indicative master plan exists, or publicly apologizing for using unclear and inaccurate wording in this report. I will also publicly ask Birmingham City Council to apologize to residents for the continued disrespectful treatment and neglect received to date. I urge our councillors and MP candidates to consider fully withdrawing their support for the regeneration on a moral basis, given the lack of meaningful community involvement and the limited use of several brownfield sites relative to the rest of the city. Regarding concerns about the current state of Ladywood, I understand the frustration with dirty streets, rubbish, litter, and graffiti. Birmingham should not be one of the worst untidy and dirty cities in Britain. If elected, I will address these issues head-on. I will work to ensure that the streets are clean and free from litter, and that graffiti is removed, especially in areas like the canals where it is most prevalent. These are not just minor issues. They affect the quality of life and the perception of safety in our community. I was born and bred in Ladywood and also conduct business from Ladywood, meaning I am personally affected by these issues, as are a wide variety of my friends and family members. I am committing to using my power as MP to ensure that these problems are addressed promptly and effectively. Please consider my candidacy as one dedicated to real change, genuine engagement, and the well-being of every Ladywood resident. I am willing to put in writing before the election my promise to support the choices wanted by the residents of Ladywood. Our community deserves a representative who will fight for our interests and uphold the highest ethical standards. I am that candidate. I am dedicated to building a better future for us, one that is free from the divisive and harmful policies supported by the incompetent Labour Party and the incompetent Shabana Mahmood. I extend my gratitude for your time and consideration of this literature. Should you have any inquiries, please do not hesitate to contact me or one of my team on the avenues listed below. Right. All right, moving on. MP candidate response from Shabana Mahmood, Labour Party. I have always been clear that any regeneration of Ladywood should not leave the existing community worse off. I have told Birmingham City Council the plan should not be a backdoor for mass gentrification of our neighborhood, where people have put down roots and made their homes. Since the regeneration proposals were announced, I have surveyed 1,600 residents who live within the regeneration zone, met with affected residents, and raised the concerns of local people directly with the developers. I have also had productive discussions with representatives from Ladywood Unite. My support for the regeneration project has always been conditional. Following a meeting with representatives from Ladywood Unite, I reiterate my 3 red lines. A full and transparent consultation process with residents throughout the project, appointing a specialist to support the community. Residents who want to stay in Ladywood are guaranteed to stay in Ladywood, and they are rehoused in one move to prevent disruption. A promise that new quality community facilities are at the heart of the project and not an afterthought. I won't support any regeneration if the council step over my red lines. These have significant overlap with the 6 Ladywood Unite asks presented during the election campaign. What I won't do is make this issue a political football or exploit it for electoral purpose. It is simply too important. I won't make promises I can't deliver on, and I won't use this issue to divide our community. Through my survey and conversations with residents, it's clear there's a diversity of views on the regeneration proposals. I continue to give a voice to the broadest possible spectrum of opinion. A year has passed since the regeneration proposals were announced, and residents are still in the dark about plans for their neighborhood. If re-elected, I pledge to send a second survey to every household in the regeneration zone to reassess the concerns of those affected by the plans. I will audit the council's actions since June 2023 and seek a meeting with the new managing director of Birmingham City Council, Joanne Roney. The council only have one chance to get this right and secure the future of Ladywood for generations to come. I hear the pain of residents and the distress this uncertainty is causing. The council can and must do better. I want you to know that I am on your side. Finally, from MP candidate Irene Henry from Reform UK. There was no formal statement or reply made, but we did receive an email, which I will read out. Thank you for contacting me about this important issue. I am aware about the mass compulsory purchase orders to move out of Ladywood residents, and it does not appear morally right to displace thousands of residents to benefit a luxury developer. I have no confidence at all in Birmingham City Council coming out with a fair resolution, and I would be willing to work with you to support your residents, definitely. I am aware that council tax has gone up by 21% over 2 years, so residents are paying more and more taxes, but getting less and less back in services. Council properties should get timely and regular repairs. I am not allowed to make pledges at this point, but I am prepared to meet you to discuss the proposals from the council regarding demolition work and see what they have offered to your residents in compensation. She also asked, do you represent a good proportion of the 6,000 people affected by this issue? I am sorry, but the link you provided was disabled, so I cannot see any other document. And we responded that we didn't have availability to meet, that we represent all 4 phases of the proposed regeneration scheme, that we haven't been offered conversation yet, that it's part of the problem, and the council are not engaging with residents. They're signing the new developer soon, and we worry that it may be too late by then. Right, thank you for listening to all of that. Ladywood Unite is not a political, thank you, Leah. Ladywood Unite is not a political organization. We do not endorse or support any political candidate, but we want you to have all of the information available to you to make the best decision possible. Hopefully that has helped to provide you with some more information. I'm going to stop the recording now and we can chat. Thanks.